Okay, so when you think about Ramadan, what comes to mind? You probably picture the bustling markets of Cairo, right? Or maybe the grand mosques in Istanbul. But today, we're going to head east, way east, to uncover this really unique and beautiful fusion of faith and ancient culture. We're diving into the fascinating story of Ramadan in the land of the dragon. And that's the big question, isn't it? What does a month of fasting, prayer, and community actually look like within the huge, diverse landscape of China? It's a question that might surprise a lot of people, and it's exactly what we're here to explore.
All right, first things first. Let's start with a number that kind of shatters a lot of preconceptions. China is home to tens of millions of Muslims. We're talking about communities like the Hui, the Uyghur, and the Salar, so this isn't some small, isolated group. It's a really vibrant and significant part of the country's cultural tapestry, which makes Ramadan a pretty special event.
So, what makes this Ramadan so unique? Well, it starts with the local traditions and even the language people use to talk about the holy month. It all gives it this distinctly Chinese character. You know, in Mandarin, Ramadan is known as Jai Yue, and it's such a beautifully direct name. It literally just translates to the fasting month. That simple name alone gives you a hint of just how deeply the practice is woven into the local culture. And you can see this cultural blend perfectly in the greetings. Of course, you'll hear the classic Ramadan Mubarak, but you'll also hear the Mandarin phrase Shang Jai Kuailei, which basically means happy fasting month. It's a small thing, but it's such a powerful example of these two worlds coming together. Okay, so long before the fasting even begins, communities just kick into high gear. This isn't just about getting spiritually ready, it's this big, vibrant, physical effort to welcome Zai Yue in the right way. So before that first day, the community is just come alive. The ancient mosques get this thorough cleaning and are beautifully decorated. Families are out stocking up on halal meats, and in a nod to tradition that spans continents, they even import dates from the Middle East. You can just feel the anticipation in the air. And one of the most stunning illustrations of this cultural fusion is Sunni calligraphy. I mean, look at this. It's used to display verses from the Quran. You've got the Arabic script, but it flows with all the grace and technique of traditional Chinese brushwork. It's a breathtaking art form that perfectly symbolizes this unique identity. Now, we're getting to the heart of the Ramadan experience. This is where the mosques become these vibrant community hubs, and the Iftar table tells a story all its own. And these places, they are the absolute centers of spiritual life. You've got the historic Niuji Mosque in Beijing, which just becomes a hive of activity. Then there's the Great Mosque of Xi'an. I mean, it honestly looks more like an imperial palace. Each one has its own incredible story and atmosphere. And that brings us to a really crucial point. These mosques are so much more than just places to pray. One source described them perfectly as cultural fortresses. They're the anchors of the community where people gather, share meals, and preserve their heritage, especially during Ramadan. And after a long day of fasting, that iftar meal is such a cherished ritual. It often starts the traditional way, with dates. But here's a local twist. Instead of water, many people prefer to rehydrate with a fragrant jasmine or green tea. Then comes the amazing main course, followed by some simple sweet treats. A definite star of the iftar table is la mian, or hand-pulled noodles. And listen, this is not just any noodle soup. This is a hearty, savory dish that gives you all that essential energy for both the pre-dawn meal and the evening iftar. It's pure comfort food. And you just can't talk about Chinese Muslim cuisine without talking about the grilled lamb. Seasoned perfectly with cumin and red pepper, it's a specialty that shows off some incredible culinary skill, and it's always a highlight of any Ramadan feast. But, Ramadan is more than just food and prayer. How do people balance their spiritual obligations with the demands of modern life, especially in some of the world's most fast-paced cities? Let's take a look. And here's where you see a really unique challenge. See, unlike in many Muslim-majority countries, official work hours in China don't change for Ramadan. This means people have to get creative to balance their jobs and their faith, sometimes breaking their fast with just a simple snack on their commute home or even right at their desk. But even in the middle of this modern hustle, traditional attire is this powerful, visible expression of identity. Men often wear these distinctive white skullcaps and shirts, especially for prayer, and women wear colorful headscarves and modest clothing that so beautifully blends Islamic tradition with Chinese style. And the spirit of charity is just incredibly strong. One of the most beautiful traditions is the community iftar at local mosques. Wealthier members of the community will donate funds to provide free evening meals for literally everyone: students, workers, travelers, anyone in need. It's just a powerful display of solidarity. So after a month of discipline and devotion, you get the reward, the joyous, vibrant, and deeply communal celebration of Eid al-Fitr.
In Chinese, Eid al-Fitr is called Kai Zai Jie, which is perfect because it literally means the festival of breaking the fast. The name itself just captures that feeling of relief and joy that's in the air. The day unfolds in these three cherished stages. It all kicks off with the incredible collective energy of thousands gathering for the special Eid prayer, everyone dressed in their finest clothes. Then, that's followed by a quiet, really solemn tradition of visiting graves to honor and pray for loved ones. And finally, the rest of the day is just filled with happy visits to family and friends, sharing food and laughter. And Eid is also a time for wonderful treats. Kids are eagerly waiting for their Eidi, which are money gifts, and families get together to share special foods like sweet fried rice cakes. It's just a day all about family, community, and gratitude. You know, one source put it in a way that just perfectly sums all of this up. It said, Islam is a universal language that can speak Chinese fluently while maintaining its spiritual essence. What a beautiful testament to how faith can find a home in any culture. And that really leaves us with a final question to think about. The story of Ramadan in China is this amazing example of adaptation and endurance. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How do other timeless traditions find new life, new language, and new meaning as they travel all across the globe?